Man, Austin, the air is thin up here. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm hungry. I'm cold. I'm scared. I don't know when I'm going to get home. I don't know when we're going to reach the summit. I don't.
But hold on. Who ever said that it was going to get easier the higher we go? Did somebody say that? Did somebody say the higher we go, the more success that we attain, the greater heights that we climb, that shit was going to get easier? Because I think you and other people have a misconception of how things are going to go. People think, oh, the beginning of this journey was hard, but once I get towards the end, closer to my goal, closer to getting that million, it's going to be easier. Once I get to the summit, it's going to be easier. Who said that? Who said that? I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, but it's not. It's not. It's really not. The more things that we've accomplished, the more boxes we've checked off of our list, things did not get easier. It's the same amount of work, if not more, that we have to do on a daily basis. And the shit doesn't get easier. No. But I will say, the more you do these difficult things, the better you get at handling them. That's for sure. But it doesn't get easier. You think that you get up to the top of, let's just say, Mount Kilimanjaro, right? You've climbed all the way up. You're damn near at the top. You think that once you get to that point, that your body, that the elements, wind's bustling outside right now, you think that the elements are just going to lighten up because you're at the top? You think that the mountain is just going to take it easy on you and have an elevator and an escalator up there to just take you to the peak of the mountain just because you're close? No, the shit doesn't get easier. However, because you've worked your way from the bottom of that mountain all the way to the top, you've seen a variety of different elements, a variety of different things that could kill you, a variety of different, obstacles that you faced, but you've gotten past them. You have more tools in your repository. You have more tricks up your sleeve now to handle these things. You get better at climbing the mountain, but the mountain doesn't get any easier. And it's not going to get easier just because you're close or just because you've reached the point where you want it to reach. So for all of those people out there that think that this shit is going to get easier for you the more you work towards something, I'm sorry. That's not really how life works. I hate to burst your bubble. Life may not get easier for you. However, over time, you build up a strong enough character, a strong enough person, a strong enough body, a strong enough mental fortitude that allows you to get through life's bullshit. So Jose, on this it gets better, not easier topic that we have, could you tell our viewership about this new levels that you have here? Could you expound upon that? Because I personally don't know.
I just added a lot of things to our notes while Austin was talking.
Yes, but that looked very interesting, and I'm intrigued now. What do you mean by new levels? And I don't know what that word is right there. I don't know if you meant to spell it like that, but yeah, I don't know.
Wait, which one?
This new levels what?
Bring.
There's no G.
Maybe it's not loading on your computer because on mine it does.
Oh yeah, facts.
I was like, no, I'm not. I know I'm not tripping that much.
It literally said new levels, Bren. Shout out, shout out.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, not today though.
Well, actually, our business is what's the word? Approved by. We're certified by this company. Actually, we are a fill in the blank certified business. Yeah, we are. I filed the paperwork and everything. Submitted, accepted. We were approved.
Okay.
So we officially have a seal of. But anyways, I want to preface this by saying, yes, it doesn't get better.
Doesn't get easier.
Doesn't get easier. You get better. But I want to say it gets harder and you get better. Every time I'm in the gym and I'll run into a homie or a homegirl and I say, almost always everybody is going through a tough time or a tougher time than they were when I previously saw them.
Very true. He's not lying.
And I always look them dead in the eyes and I say, my friend, it always gets harder, but you will always get stronger. And that's right. Always what I say, because at the end of the day, I've learned this through my family, what my parents, what my grandparents have been through, my cousins, my relatives, my brothers, my sisters, the people around me, the people above me, and the people below me. I've seen this pattern, this trend that responsibility always grows, burden always grows. The complexity of things never simplifies. And the best analogy I can draw is a video game. As you level up, you literally have new bosses to fight. You have new maps to explore. You have new quests to fulfill. And are they easier or are they harder? It's the same thing with life, because video games are modeled after life. They have the same logic flow. And so here in my notes, I have new levels bring new devils, and new levels require more maintenance. Now, I think this goes hand in hand. Now, an example is, say you have reached a new level of financial wealth. Well, now you have money at your disposal, which means you could gamble, you could go to the club, you can spend money on escorts.
And if people know about this newfound wealth, people are going to ask you, hey, can I have some money? Can I borrow $20? Can I borrow $200? Can I borrow this? Thinking that you're a walking bank.
You're going to have leeches, parasites, people trying to, and that's a good point because I didn't think of that. You're going to have people trying to win your favor. You're going to have yes men around you. And that is why I say new levels bring new devils. And that's how things get harder. Now, new levels require more maintenance. This is a concept that I get from Bedros Keuilian. Shout out to Bedros Keuilian and the Bedros Keuilian Show. From his book, Man Up, which I still have in my bag. Carry it with me. It's the fighter jet principle that the higher altitude that you fly, the faster you fly, the higher level of maintenance you require. Your ship, your navigation, your fuel, your maintenance of the actual jet itself. So of your body in this case. If you want to be a high performing individual, if you want to lead a team and lead them well, you have to lead by example. So everything that you say and you do, you have to be an unequivocal representation of that. If you say you need to perform, that means that you are in shape, sleep, exercise, and conduct yourself accordingly. That you reduce your vices substantially, almost to nil, if at all possible. You take care of those around you because you take care of yourself as well. And so the higher you go, the higher your maintenance, because bigger level decisions require more bandwidth, more mental rest, more acumen. You need to be sharper, you need to be better, you need to be faster, you need to be stronger. And that's not easier, that's harder, but it's better, and you're better.
Now, to explain this to people, because not too many people know this, oddly enough. Maybe because they're going to stay in the same one their whole life or have aspirations of staying in the same one their whole life. But as you increase your monetary success, people think, oh, life just gets so much easier, right? But as you increase this, more people, but also more entities are going to require your money. For an example, the government. You want to increase the amount of money that you make, and you think the government is not going to get their piece of that? So for those that don't know, there are these things called tax brackets. It's not just something that's just a funny thing that people say, or tax bracket meaning, oh, they just make a lot of money. I think it goes over people's heads, because as you increase your monetary success, after a certain amount of money, I believe it's once you start making 6 figures or so, you're in a different tax bracket. And then from lower 6 figures to like 499,000, you're in a different tax bracket after that, and so on and so forth. I think there's 1 or 2 more after that. But say that to say, as you know, you have more money, they take more money from you. You get taxed more. So just because you may make, let's say, $10 million, all that $10 million doesn't go to you. Just because you're making $20 million, all that $20 million doesn't go to you. The government gets their piece. So, and that's something that a lot of people don't think about, or a lot of people don't hear. But I would like to say that as shit gets quote unquote easier from a public perspective, internally or behind closed doors, what people have to deal with is not easy. It might get better because you have a higher access to money, but it's not easier because you still have to deal with the same shit. It's just at a higher level at this point too. So people think that they get to a certain point and things are just going to just change and everything's just going to be sunshine and roses. And I don't know where that misconception came from, but it's really, really not like that. But I also think that that is something that, like you said, it helps you become a better person. Because if we reached a certain point in life and then the shit just plateaued out, then what's the point of, continuing further, because you've reached the max. And I think the great thing about life is there's really no max. You can go as hard and as far as you want to go. And along that quest, you're going to find out that, okay, when I try to go from 10 push-ups to 20 push-ups, sure, now I can do 10 push-ups relatively, fine. But in my quest for 20, it doesn't get easier. This shit is harder. But I'm better now at doing push-ups. I can do 10 easily. I'm better at doing push-ups, but progressing is not easier. As you continue to go up and trend up, it's not easier. But again, I personally like that part about life, that shit doesn't get easier, because it's like a constant equation. It's a constant problem. Life's biggest problem is figuring out life on a day-to-day and knowing that even though I got past this particular thing, there's always going to be something on the horizon that I'm going to have to figure out or I'm going to have to deal with. And most people, they see it as a negative and they kind of shy away from it. But I personally, I like that, because now it's like, hey, I know that there's always going to be something on the horizon that I'm going to have to deal with. But how am I going to figure it out this time? I figured out level 1 through 20, like the video game reference. How am I going to figure out how to beat the boss for level 21? I'm going to have to get better personally in order to beat that boss. Doesn't mean it's any easier. I'm just going to have to get better. So when life gets harder, that's your opportunity to increase your productivity, mental bandwidth, all of that in order to get better to accomplish what you need to. So this is something that I truly value and I look forward to on a day-to-day.
You know what pisses me off?
Oh, this is gonna be great. Let's get into it. What pisses you off, Jose, today? What is it?
Why is it that we somehow magically believe that we are the apex of the universe? Why is it that we think us, so small and insignificant, so weak as a physical being, are the most important thing in the entire universe? And not just us as a whole, but us as in you and I. Why is it that Sally, that Sarah, that Josh, that Caleb thinks that they are the most important? So high above logic, reason, power, divinity, what have you, that everything should be easy, that they will reach the peak and the pinnacle of their life, that they will summit the unsurmountable mountain. Insurmountable, excuse me. That pisses me off. And not just for other people, but it pisses me off because I have that proclivity too.
I was just about to say.
It pisses me off because I don't like the fact that I think I'm entitled to have things easier. Because I'll find myself in the shower, sleep deprived. There's and a lot of other things going on. And I'll have a bitch ass voice in my head saying, it should be easier, man. Or even worse, oh, they have it easier. And then I realize, if you want to level up, Jose, it's going to fucking hurt. You're going to have to pay the fucking price. You're not ready for the success. It's going to require quality and quantity. You're going to have to be smarter and work harder. You're going to have to get injured and learn how to play hurt. You're going to have to be a little delusional. You're going to have to become a master of the monotonous.
This boy is cooking.
You're going to have to not give up.
Ooh.
You can't forget the scrums.
Right.
You have to grow a beard.
Right.
You have to attack 2024. You're going to need to do market research. Do you even know what you're signing up for? Is happiness required?
Ooh.
Why are you being a hater? You know that hate doesn't help.
Why?
Are you being systematic? Is your confidence coming from the past, or is it coming from your present actions, who you are today? Are you fueling yourself properly in order to succeed? Are you becoming like water? Do you have your brothers who can help you move? Are you in the right location, looking into the best location while you are searching for your location? Do you have a disciple's mindset? Meaning, can you learn for the rest of your life? Are you sharp? Do you stay sharpening yourself and forever evolving and learning? Do you understand the power of delegation? Are you capable of delegating? Do you have the systems in place to delegate? Are you making your parents proud? Are you likable? Have you learned to negotiate? I think I could keep going, but I'm not going to. Because at the end of the day, it's an insurmountable mountain of potential. And like you said, that is something truly beautiful because you'll never reach the top and you'll always be in pursuit of the top. And maybe someday you'll understand that because it doesn't make sense now, but it will in the future. And you'll look back and say, those were the best times.
And now, since you went down that path, now I have to say something because you just inspired me, bro. So, now that we have covered that, you know what? I think if you're looking at someone else and you're saying, wow, their life is easier than mine. I wish I could be like that or have a life like that. You're looking at shit completely wrong. Completely wrong. We all have our challenges that we go through, right? People try to go past them. People try to avoid them. But all the people that I would say are the most successful go through them. Why would you look at someone else and say their life is easier and say, hey, I want that life? Why? Why? What is the root of that? You know what I think the root is?
What is it?
Pure fucking laziness. Laziness, entitlement, and just a proclivity to want the lower things in life, not the finer things in life, the lower things in life. Because when I look at other people and I see nowadays, because earlier on, I'm not going to lie, I would look at people and say, hey, look, wow, their life is easier. I wish mine could, kind of go like that. But now I take pride in having this life to where we barely get sleep, to where we have to deal with bullshit right before the podcast starts, and we have to come in here and turn that shit off in our minds like that shit didn't even happen, and come in here and bring you a podcast like nothing has ever happened throughout our day. I like that because I know that it's building me up as a person, and I know that it's also making me into the thing that I want to be. And it allows me access, and it will allow me access to the things that I want to have, because I'm not choosing the easy way out. I'm choosing to go the harder way. I'm choosing that. And the more times I choose that, the better I get at handling those situations. Just like I said earlier, whenever there's something that comes in from the horizon that I may not see, and it's another issue that I have to deal with, I like when those things happen, and I expect those things to happen so I can learn how to deal with them. Because if somebody has a life on Easy Street, they're living that nice little marvelous life, right? They're just enjoying themselves. When something like that happens to them, when a unexpected thing happens to them or their loved ones or what have you, they're not going to be able to handle it. They're going to break down. And I don't wish that on people. But do I take a little pride that I don't believe that that's going to happen to me? Kind of. Sorry. Because I have been through some bullshit, and I will continue to go through shit because I feel like that is what I'm here for. I'm here to go through this type of stuff. I'm here to be the punching bag. I'm here to be the shoulder to cry on while everybody else is crying, because I feel like that is my purpose. I feel like that is your purpose, and I feel like that's what you think it is as well. For us to be the glue.
The pillar, the cornerstone.
The pillar, the cornerstone, the thing that makes things work. The thing that holds up the foundation, that holds up the building. I like that. Maybe, like you said, it could just be a little delusional. Who knows? But I do believe that most people who are successful have that same type of mindset, to where they don't shy away from the difficult, the strenuous, the tough. They don't shy away from that. And if you are living your life on Easy Street right now, nothing's too hard. Nothing is too crazy that's going on in your life. It's just going smoothly, right? Why do you want to have that life? And if you want more and your life is on Easy Street, what are you avoiding? Because you're avoiding something. You know that you should be doing something. You know that you should be handling something. You know that you should talk to that person. You know that you should start that business idea, whatever. You know that you should be doing something. So why aren't you doing it? I think you're comfortable with easy. I think you're comfortable with taking things smoothly. And if you want to be comfortable with that for the rest of your life, whatever, cool. I'm not going to say, hey, you're less than for that. However, if you say that you want some things, like we say that we want some things, you're going to act on it. And you're going to hit life head first. And not say, hey, look, oh, that looks difficult, or, oh, my life is so hard. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Nobody said this shit was going to be easy. However, if you want a better life, you're going to have to choose life on hard mode. instead of easy mode, you know? But whenever you accomplish what you accomplish, you get to rock around and say, hey, look, I didn't play life on easy mode. I didn't play life on medium either. I played it on hard, the hardest it could get. That's what I played life on. And I accomplished it. What did you do? Oh, okay.
Silence, exactly. We didn't even hear the response because you ain't here. Because it's lonely on the top of the mountain, Austin.
For a reason.
And let me loop back to that analogy. As a leader, or as somebody who desires to be a pillar or a component of the foundation, a cornerstone, a rock, a shoulder to cry on, like you said, you need to take the anti-venom before the venom. You need to harden yourself before the difficult times come. Like how you were saying, you put yourself through additional strain even before necessary.
And you know, as far as the anti-venom goes, if you want to build up an immunity in your body, that doesn't mean, again, taking some shit the easy way. No, that means subjecting yourself to that shit, subjecting yourself to hard things over and over and over and over again until you built up a tolerance to them. Not saying that it gets any easier, but if you subject yourself to these difficult times, to these hard things that nobody wants to do, knowing that it's the right thing for you to do to get what you want to get, the world is yours.
So when you're trying to summit the mountain and you're tired and you're cold and the air is thin and you're lonely and you're thinking about that nice warm bed where your missus is at, home cooked meals, but you know you have to get to the top, you will rely and lean on that one individual who is stronger than you. And if nobody else is there, then you have to be the one that you lean on. And that, my friends, is what it means to be better.
Can't beat that, man. I think we got to close it on that one then.
The AM Club Podcast.
Signing out.
Mic check. The AM Club Podcast.